We can do that.
All right. Hello, everybody. Happy, what is today? Tuesday night. We've got world team members, Jesus and Stacy Garcia here tonight as promised. And these guys took their Herbalife business from 749 documented volume points in December to 7,167 in April, you guys. So that's almost a 10 times increase or growth in their business. And they did it by hyper focusing on their goals and also their client chat. So, and also it's really good to note that they've done this 100% from their phones. Okay. So you can use the tips that they're going to be sharing here tonight, no matter where you are. So they've not used a fit camp, a club, or any type of local activities whatsoever. I mean, we've all been on, voluntary shut-in, here in Arizona. So if you've got those things going on, though, that's great. Okay, definitely keep doing those. You can layer in the things that they're going to share tonight with your local activities. Also, tonight on these tips and things like that, it's going to be very exciting. If you don't have any client chat going on, great. You can, either, if you're new or newer, work with your sponsor or somebody in your upline that's got one going on. Now, if by off chance they don't have one going on, no problem. Do it yourself, get it going, right? But if you've got some upline, if you're new or newer and you've got some upline that's got one going and they'll invite you into it, then definitely work with them until you get your client base built up pretty good. And also, whatever you're doing that's currently working, keep doing it. So take some of these tips and ideas, blend them in, right? Because if what you're doing is already working, you don't want to just stop that and change. Okay, so having said that, you guys, Stacy and Jesus, thanks for clearing up a little bit of time tonight, having Grandma over to take care of Seb for a little while to make things a little bit easier and more fun for you on. I know Grandma loves it, so that's super exciting. And so at any rate, how about you guys just? This is what I want to say. You guys just created your best month, maybe ever, and maybe your largest income in Herbalife ever, or at least one of the largest months. So kudos to you. How's that feeling so far?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it feels amazing. I'm still even though we had a few days to process, I'm still like, are we doing this right now?
We're really doing this right
now. Nice. Yeah, you're really doing it. How exciting. Okay, so and I forgot to mention, you guys, we're using StreamYard tonight to do the interview, streaming here into Facebook. So if you haven't already, there is in the description, there is a short link, streamyard.com/Facebook. And if you click on that, then we can see your comments. If you don't click on that and approve it, then we absolutely can't see your comments. We are going to attempt to do some Q&A, but with what I'm seeing here right now, visibility, I don't know how much we'll be able to do live during the live stream, but as you're thinking of the questions, go ahead and pop them in. We'll certainly collect those and use that to make sure everybody gets, all the help that they need. And of course, all the comments popping in, is great to see. It's nice to have all of you guys with us here tonight live. Okay, so how about you guys introduce yourself, jobs, Seb, and dreams and desires with Herbalife.
All right, so I'm Jesus, and you guys know you probably see Seb crawling around, walking around now on our stories. So we do have a 1-year-old, and what I do is I'm at a desk job, regular 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And I was kind of talking about this today, back in January when Maurice kind of pointed it out. I didn't realize we went from 749, Maurice. So thank you for pointing that out. I'm gonna start telling that story. But so back in January, I kind of just made the decision that our dream is to work from home and be able to be there with Seb and watch him grow up. We didn't want to. I didn't want to be away from my family all day at my job. So I'll kind of let Stacy talk about what she does.
Yeah, so I'm a nanny pretty full time, and I've been doing that for about 10 years. I've also had other small or like part-time childcare jobs here and there. But I've been in childcare pretty much since I was 16. or earlier than that because of my siblings. But in January, my hours got cut with my nanny job, and so I just got another job because I knew I had Herbalife here and I've done Herbalife before, but for whatever reason, I decided to get another job. I started working as a substitute teacher in a preschool, and that was supposed to be a somewhat part-time job to fill in the blanks in the hours that I was getting. But it ended up having me out of the house without our son Seb, because when I nanny, he goes with me, so that's never been a really big deal for me. But I ended up being out of the house almost full time without him, and that just was tearing me apart. I've never cried so frequently in my life. And so I decided that was stupid and I didn't want to do that anymore. And Jesus was, in January, he started taking the business more seriously. And so he was doing Herbalife, doing the deal. And this was in mid-March, right before coronavirus happened. Coincidentally. And I decided that I was not going to do that anymore, and that I was going to join him and get back on Herbalife, doing it together as a business. So our short-term goal is to be working from both of us be working from home solely with our Herbalife income and get rid of both jobs by the end of the year.
Wow, that's been a pretty aggressive ramp up in your vision, because in December or January 1, you couldn't really see that far, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that wasn't like, you decided, okay, we're gonna re-engage our business, we're gonna build a client chat, et cetera, and you were like, and by the end of the year we're gonna replace both of our incomes. That wasn't in your mind, was it?
No.
Yeah, and I think it's really important, to share that, because most of us, when we get started, or in your case restarting, which is cool, when we get started, our vision wasn't that far. We couldn't see that, and if somebody asked us internally, we might have thought, yeah, that'd be great, but we'd think, yeah, that's not really likely, or not really a possibility. I can't sink my heart into that, because I can't see it. So I think it's really important to share. And now, because of your activity and because of the results that the progress you're seeing you're making, now you can see how it's going to be a heck of a lot of work, but you can see how that's actually possible.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, let's dig in. So what's happened to your business since January? Now, I know I already told the thing, the this to that, but how would you describe it? What's happened in your business since January?
So I have some notes. I'm going to read off some numbers because I love numbers.
Nice.
So like you said, in December, our volume was 749. In January is when Sue started working our Herbalife business again, and our total income in January was $183. In January, we set a documented volume goal for 2,500. Our actual was 2,089.
So we came up short there, which was no problem. We were excited.
But
I was
we did.
Let's go.
And then in February, our goal was 3,000 documented volume. Our actual was 2,809. In March, our goal was 5,000 documented volume, and our actual was 3,930. And
so you guys are coming up, like, you're setting the goal, and you're busting your booties on it, doing everything, and coming up short. And the next month you still set your goal higher.
Yes.
You didn't be like, okay, well, we didn't get 2,500, so we'll just go for 2,500 again.
Right.
And big major difference, I would say.
Huge.
Because when we were on our way to that next goal, we would realize, like, we blew past
the last one.
Last month's goal. Like, all right, let's just do it again.
Yeah.
I think that's such a huge point. I'm glad you guys are breaking down the numbers like this. Okay, let's hear the rest of your numbers.
So then on March 31st is when we started our client chat.
Okay.
And then April, we set our documented volume goal at 7,000, and our actual was 7,167. And our May check is $1,333.
Wow.
So from $183 to $1,333. And then
none of this counts your retail profits.
No, that's checks only.
Sweet.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah. So our client chat has really only existed since March 31st. That was when we started it.
I wasn't tuned into that currently. So that's really awesome. So wow. So you were doing like mostly one-on-one reach out stuff.
Yeah, actually.
I would like to touch on that because what was happening was we were getting all of our preferred members, clients, reaching out to them. And what ended up happening was I had some right here, Facebook Messenger. I had some in my DMs and Instagram. I had some in text. So it was just kind of everywhere. And that's when we were like, hey, we got to get our client chat going so that way we can put them all together. And if we say, hey, good morning, how was your shake? Something like that. Everybody's in there. Everybody can see it. So it's kind of like we started merging everybody back into just one messenger. That way we're not, I was starting to lose track. So I had to get everybody in one messenger, one messenger app, one place.
Smart. Okay. So since you, and so you had a pretty significant increase, nearly double your volume nearly doubled from March to April.
With the introduction of the client chat. Yes.
Wow. Okay. And then before that, January and February and March, you had challenges putting people into to have some group community support and still have the challenges, but so it wasn't attempting entirely to do one-on-one the first part,
right?
Because you did have the group support from the challenges. Okay. I'm remembering everything now. All right. So how would you say that the client chat, maybe you've already touched on this, but how would you say the client chat has helped you?
You're gonna go with me. Okay, I'll start.
Take this one.
So we call our client chat base. It's like, we refer to it as our like online nutrition club. And so it's like, because we both started with nutrition clubs, and so to us that like makes a lot of sense. And a lot of the people that we work with were around the nutrition club at some point. And so when we first introduced the idea to them, we kind of touched on that, like a place for everybody to get together, like a virtual nutrition club. So
nice.
It created like a community for us. That's like the biggest thing, is it's given us a community and everybody together. And that's like kind of like the umbrella of it all, is everybody's together. And actually one of our downlines clients, there's not a lot of them in there, but Q, he said that he was like, oh, I feel like left out. He told Jesus, he's like, oh, I feel left out because I don't really like know everybody in there. Right. And he was like, dude, nobody in there knows each other.
I was like, get active, get in there.
And so, but that's just like shows like how much people started like talking back and forth, that he thought all these people like knew each other already outside of the group, but it's just the community that's been built within the group itself.
Wow.
So since then, he started interacting. He started hearting the messages. He started posting his own.
He amps people up.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So the concept is that this is your community. This is the hangout. This is where everybody's at, and where you can really take care of people in a group, and everybody in there can, not that everybody does, but everybody can encourage and inspire one another by what they're seeing and doing and stuff like that. So. I was gonna go back and how did you start it, but I think it's better to be like, how do you create that community and that atmosphere? Because that's not automatic. That doesn't automatically happen. So how have you created that, and how do you continue to create it? Because it's an ongoing thing. So
one of the things that I made a note of here is that we are not formal or professional in there at all. We avoid it. We avoid being like super professional or super formal. And we kind of act like a client in that chat. in a way that like, not exactly, but we basically act like our own best client. We act, and we do this on purpose, and we talk about this. We do what we want our clients to do. So whatever we want them to share, we're going to share. Whatever we want them to talk about, we're going to talk about it first and create the culture kind of between us, like as us starting it first. That way they're like, oh, that's how we talk in here. And they kind of do that as well. So we don't act like we're like we're the health coaches in here and we're like, you're who you come to and I know all the information. Nothing like that. It's just like, oh my gosh, my shake is so good. This tastes great. This is what I put in it. That kind of stuff. And then people talk like that too in there.
Yeah, it's kind of natural. They just start popping in whatever recipes they got going on. If I do like me drinking a shake and I'm like, oh, this is my go-to right now. And then I list out what it is. And then everybody's like, what's Beauty Booster?
Yeah, within a week, people are like, oh, I made that drink.
Yeah. So, it's definitely fun. It gets everything popping in there.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay. So do you have a plan for the week? Do you have, like a heading with an intention that you're wanting to create in the chat, either for the week or for the month? How do you do the same things in there every day? What does it look like with you participating, in your client chat? And by the way, what do you guys call your chat?
We call it the Herbalife Fam Chat.
Herbalife Fam Chat. Okay, awesome. So how do you decide what's going in there? Because it can't be just like every day I just like wake up and like, oh, what should I talk about in there today? No. Oh, well, hey, well, I'll talk about the dogs today because, blah, blah, blah. So obviously you're showing up as good Herbalife distributors. You're showing up as coaches. And I hear loud and clear, you're not in there like, we're the coaches, so do this and do that. But you're in there like, whatever you want them to do, you just do it. And find that they're pretty much doing it also. So how do you decide what are you doing? Do you have, you don't need this, by the way, I'm just interested. Do you have, like a plan for the week, a plan for the month, a general plan for, for each day? How do you know what to do in there?
So we do a little bit of both. We have a plan, and we also do the same things every day. So every day, at least one of us will share a shake selfie. And at least one of us will share our like afternoon drink. And every afternoon, both of us make some kind of like mixed Herbalife drink. And we just do like our afternoon drink. And so in the morning, he usually posts his shake just because he's up and like out for work faster than I am. And so he'll usually post his shake. The earlier we get it in there, the earlier people start responding. So it's usually him on their morning shake, and then asks, like, he will say like, what are you guys like drinking today? Like, what's your combo or whatever? And then, or your shake recipe, and then your flavors. And then in the afternoon, one of us will post in, like a drink combo. I almost always do, a time lapse of me making whatever I'm making. It's usually something Bev mix, and mine's usually Bev mix lift off tea and then like probiotic. He does a lot more than that. So mine's usually a time lapse, and then I'll just like throw the time lapse in there with my recipe. And sometimes I ask what they're drinking, sometimes I don't. He always does his recipe, and he always asks what are you sipping on?
Nice.
So, and I didn't in the mornings, I didn't really plan it, but I started. I was following up with one of our clients earlier today. And she said, oh man, she even mentioned in the fam chat, she said, oh, it's so cool when I see you guys are posting that shake selfie in the morning, it makes me get up and I want to make the shake so that way I can join in on the fun. So I didn't even think about that. And I was like, oh man, that's genius. So it kind of gets them up, gets them doing it, and then taking the selfie. That way they can participate in the fun.
Yeah.
Nice. By the way, you guys that went and clicked on the link there, StreamYard.com/Facebook, and gave Facebook or StreamYard permission to see your comments. I'm actually seeing your comments and your names popping up here, so it's great to see you guys. Appreciate that. Also, again, if questions pop into your mind as you're hearing what Stacy and Jesus are doing, throw them in here. Stacy and Jesus, can you guys in the studio, can you see the questions? Or
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you guys, if you got some questions, throw them in. I can't guarantee, of course, that we're going to see them or get them answered here live, but we'll try to do that. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's back up just a minute and go. Like, how did you get it started, and like how many people were in it at first? And you already touched on a little bit, how you reached out to some people and said, hey, this is how we're going to recreate or create a community. But are there more examples of what you said to get people into it? So how did you start it? How many people got into it there? And if you have any more examples, that'd be great.
So, actually, we did not ask anybody if they wanted to be in it.
Okay.
We went through our list of PMs, and everybody that had ordered within the last 90 days, or that we know well, or any client that had ordered within the last 90 days, we just put them in the chat. And then I actually went up and I found a screenshot of the first message that we sent so I could read it. So we just put everybody in. It was around 25 or 30 people. And we just said, hey, everyone, real quick, if you're in this chat, it's because, 1, you've ordered recently, 2, you're in the April challenge, or both. And if you aren't in the April challenge and you haven't ordered products recently and you're still in this group, it's because we care about you too much to leave you out. Feel free to no hard feelings. We just wanted a space where we could have some kind of community with you all, like we used to have in the nutrition clubs. We'll do all kinds of things in here, and it's also a great place for questions and general conversation. We hope you'll enjoy being here with us. And so we just popped everyone in. We had one person leave immediately, and everybody else stayed.
Not bad. How many was that?
It was 25 to 30.
Nice. And only one bolted?
Only one left.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying, when it showed that so-and-so left, we were just like, drop messages. That way it kind of
hides it.
It just disappears and nobody sees it.
That's all you can do with Facebook Messenger. Okay,
Yeah.
So I do want to handle this one real quick. Jessica asks, if I have a Facebook group page, would you recommend running the page like a chat or creating another group chat? Jessica, I'm all about like minimizing, minimizing, right? However, and I would like to say, oh, well, you could just run the group like a chat, but from what I've seen, you just can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jessica, I would say 100% set up the chat and rock that thing, because it's just a totally different dynamic. Good question. Appreciate that. Mm-hmm. So good stuff. So, and then how many people are in it now? Like the same, slightly less, slightly more?
It's definitely more, because as we've been re-engaging old PMs and old clients, we've been adding them in as we go, and getting new, obviously. Mm-hmm. We've been adding those in as we go. So I wish that the group, maybe it's there and I don't know. I wish it told you how many people were in, but anytime I've figured out how many people are in that group, I've had to go in and hand count the members. So I think it's around or maybe a little bit above the 40 mark.
Okay,
but I'm not exactly sure.
Now, here's the thing. Like a lot of times, like say we got a chat or a group or an email list, or it doesn't really matter what it is, or a room full. If you're speaking, in a room full of people, and out of all the people in the chat, how many would you say pretty regularly actually engage or post or even like and comment and stuff like that?
I'd say about 15.
Yeah, I was going to say around 15.
That's pretty good. You guys have created a super highly lively group then in that case, chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
That's really high. I was imagining, that if you said 5 to 8, that would be like really pretty good, with 40 people in there. But, to have it up to where, you've got, maybe 50, maybe as many as 15 people that are playing quite a bit. I think that's really, really good. Mm-hmm. I would recommend everybody, like with, new clients, like, probably a lot of you watching this have got, people, unless you're brand new, let me say it that way. Unless you're brand spanking new, you've got people, to get into a chat like this. And so, going back and getting them in, super powerful. And then as you add new ones, I would really pump it up as one of the benefits of them choosing you as their coach, and really make sure that that. Now, let me ask you guys this, Stacy and Jesus. What if you've got somebody that, says they really want to get results and they really want to use Herbalife, and, they're doing, follow up with you or whatever, and they've got questions for you, but they're just like, I just don't want to be in the chat. I just want to come to you for everything.
So I have somebody like that.
No.
And her name is
tag her.
So she's never like come outright and said like, I don't want to be in the chat. She's in the chat, but you know how the little bubbles, you can see who's seen. And so one time we went back and we were like, when's the last time she saw something? It was a long time ago. So she's got it on mute, most likely. And she asked me, her like favorite thing in the world is recipes. She just goes crazy for recipes. And so she asked me, she was having trouble making the Bev mix. She couldn't figure out how to make it taste good. And meanwhile, we're popping in Bev mix recipes and showing how to make the recipes like on the daily. So I was like, girl, have you seen the recipes in the chat? And she was like, oh no. And I was like, man, we go in there every day almost, and we share like how to make the Bev mix. You should definitely go check it out. And I never told her anything. So I don't know if she went in and if she looked at the chat. But I do know that a couple days later, when I asked how her Bev mix was, I asked her if she figured out how to make it, and she said, yes, it's delicious. So
awesome.
I don't know, but that's kind of what I have done with her. Yeah. Just referencing like what's happening in the chat. And, and if I had someone message me on the side and I've asked them, hey, would you just mind popping that in the chat real quick? Because I'm sure other people have the same question, and then I can answer it there. So just kind of doing that. How about you?
Same. Yeah. I've had a few where they, to the side, and they're like, oh my gosh, I noticed that my pants that I haven't worn since last year, they just like, I buttoned them right away. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Celebrate. And then I'm like, by the way, how did you do it? What tips? They told me. And then I said, that's awesome. You should probably just drop that in the fam chat, because someone else might have the same, they might be struggling the same way you were, or they could benefit from the tip or get motivated. And they were like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. So that as soon as they did it, it was like extravaganza in there. Everybody was
brilliant. So that is brilliant.
In the fan chat.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, Amanda is asking, can you share in the comments what you typed when you added everyone in the group?
I can drop that in the live after we're done here, but I would highly recommend, one of the reasons that this worked so well for us is because it authentically came from me, and it's how I talk. It authentically came from how I was feeling, what I was thinking, and it's how I talk, and it's how I talk to my people. So don't copy and paste the same thing, but I'll definitely post it in there so you guys can get like an idea of where I was coming from, so you can type up your own.
Agree 100%. Awesome.
I went back and counted, and we have 38
in our chat.
Oh, sweet.
Not quite yet.
Yeah, I don't feel like the number matters, but hey, most of us, it helps us to see what's going on, so that's super awesome. And I know I've seen a lot of chats, start with 3 and 5 is super common, especially maybe newer distributors, or if somebody really hasn't been, working with their clients in a group. And Sandra, started ours with 3 to 5 or something like that, for a couple of months. And so, the numbers though help us to imagine, and for me, I'm like this. I'm like, okay, 7,167 volume points with 40 people in the chat. So if I want another 7,000 points, I need to get I need to get another 40 people in the chat. I mean, that's just how I think. That's just how I think.
Can I answer Ashley's question really quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ashley asked, do you invite your coaches and their clients, or would each coach set up their own chat? So I'm not sure I've heard you answer this, Dad. So I hope I'm not like.
I'm going to take a stab at it, and then I definitely want to hear whatever you think, even, whatever. Okay. So Ashley, the first thing I'm going to say is Stacy and Jesus are frontline to Sandra and I. And do they have all of their people in our chat? No. Okay. So, and I don't think that's what you're asking, Ashley. I think you're probably asking about the new distributors. So our coaching is this, and that is your new distributors, they're probably already in your chat because they're a preferred member first. Okay. And if they're not, well, maybe just, maybe we want to reevaluate that. But because how's your new distributor going to really know what it's like to be a member and how it feels to be a member if they're not a member, at least for a couple of weeks first? Okay. So yeah, new distributors, we want them in our chats with us so that we can engage with them. And then also so that they can be bringing people with them to the party, to the community. And then that new distributor's job is to build an active supervisor group, in the first 1 to 2 months, right? So build that group up. And once they've got, a good client base rolling, 20, 30 clients and members, probably they're gonna feel pretty confident to start with their own chat, and I would be encouraging them to do that when they've got a good nucleus, and some people will probably be ready to jump too soon when they've got 3, and some people when they've got 30 they're still like, no, I just want to stay with you, coach, and at that point it's kind of like the mama eagle kind of has to push that little baby eagle out of the nest because she knows that that baby eagle's ready to fly. So those are my thoughts on that. Stacy and Jesus, why don't you guys share what you're actually doing right now?
So what we're doing right now is super similar, except the number where we push them out of the nest is lower. So we have our distributors in the chat with us, the newer ones, especially ones that aren't at their target weight and stuff that kind of might need the help from the client chat as well. And they're in there, and what we've told them is when they have 5 clients, they're welcome to go open up their own chat. When they have 10 clients, they must go get their own chat. And then we leave them in there, and we've told them that when you graduate out and you have your own client chat, you can feel free to get your inspiration from what we're doing in our chat so that they can see what's happening and they can duplicate it. And then also, just forgot what I was going to say.
It's time for you to think of it.
What else did we tell them? I don't remember what I was going to say.
It'll come back.
It's really good. I really like that. At 5 you can, and at 10 you must. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want them doing too low of a number where there was nothing happening in the chat and it's a dead chat. But so I said 5, and then 5 and then 10. And so what I was going to say is one of the biggest reasons that we did that is because we run referrals we run promotions and giveaways and stuff in our chats. And if we're running a promotion, yeah, Ashley, mom brain. If we're running a promotion, then and their people are in there, then they kind of have to run the same promotion that we're running. Yeah. And so this way at 10, they have to get out. So they have enough to have a successful client chat on their own. And they can run their own promotions and do things like that with their team without us having to worry about who's in there and who's doing what. And that way we can just kind of we can just run with what we need to do.
Brilliant. Great question, Ashley. Thanks for bringing that up.
While you're looking at your notes, on how our client chat has helped, we had some points that we didn't get to. Can we go back? Can we
please do it. And also, if you haven't already covered it, when do you post? And I think you've touched on it some, but maybe if there's anything else to add, and how often, frequency. Those are questions that I get a lot about this type of thing. So,
okay. Did you want to start on that list?
Yeah, I can start.
Okay,
so how it's helped us so far, we basically have been able to create and build relationships with our clients and preferred members. So it's not just kind of like volume and, oh yeah, business is great. It's more of us talking to them and celebrating them and actually helping them become more consistent to get results, because that's the main deal here. We want to help them get those results, and that kind of helps us rally them up in there and have fun in there. You want to touch that?
Yeah, so it also, like you mentioned, the PMs and the clients, they get ideas and tips from each other. So if it takes us an hour to respond, usually which rarely takes us an hour to respond, but if it takes us more than 5 minutes to respond, usually there's someone else in there. Like just the other day, someone asked, is it okay to have more than 2 servings of tea in a day? I'm like, boom, 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 boom. There were like 4 other clients that were like, yes, I do it all the time. So like that, they get tips from each other. And like we had one girl, she posted a picture of her shake station, and above it, she had written out like her daily schedule. So 8 a.m. shake, 8:30 water, like all of these things. And at the bottom, she had written out her goal, and she posted that in there. And within like, by the end of the day, there were like 3 or 4 other people that had copied and they put their pictures up where they had done the same thing, right? Like written their goal down right in front of their shake station. So it helps like the PMs like get ideas and tips and tricks from each other. You mean?
No, me. So kind of like what she was talking about, I post my favorite drinks. And right now my favorite drink is Bev Mix Beauty Booster.
Yeah, I'm here.
It's just Bev Mix Beauty Booster tea, Lift Off Aloe, and there's one more probiotic, simply probiotic. And so I just mix it all up in there, and we noticed that in the orders, everybody's like, when I drop those recipes, and we're writing, we track all of our PM's orders, by the way. And so as we're going through, we notice we're like, I've never seen so many orders of collagen beauty booster and Lift Up and Bev Mix ever before. So that kind of helps is I noticed that they start to duplicate. They drink the drinks that we're drinking that we're excited about. So we kind of try to share all the products. I think one time I dropped in there when we were using the sunscreen, right? What is it called? The Aloe sunscreen. So like just kind of letting them know like we don't just have the shakes tea. We have shampoo, conditioner, body. We have everything right here. So
wow.
Try to be the best.
Sounds like you guys have a lot of fun with your videos, like sharing with people with products and how you use them.
Yeah, we do. We try to like, okay, well, this guy just really loves social media. And so he's always got some kind of like trending fun video idea. So a lot of that is him. I have ideas every now and then, but not near as much.
Nice.
Time lapse is my go-to.
So I'm kind of shocked that nobody's asked this yet, but this week, maybe over the next 5 to 7 days, maybe you guys could drop 2 or 3 of your videos like that go into your client chat. Maybe you could drop them into the coach chat, so that just, more of us can get some ideas like on, how you make your videos fun or informative or whatever. Just, maybe a sampling 2 or 3 of them or something, or as many as you want, but 2 or 3 would be nice.
Yeah. They're not that creative.
Well,
we'll drop them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's probably looking for like, the creative masterpieces, more so than just like, hey, people are responding to your videos and duplicating them. There might be somebody brand new in the chat, that would like to see one. So hey, if you can, great. If you don't think of it, no big deal.
Yeah. The biggest one, and I think this is one of our points, the biggest thing we do, like the video type thing that we do, is our product hauls. Oh. So every time a personal consumption order comes in, I bust out the tripod and record a video. And at first I was really like, I paid a lot of attention. I tried to pay attention to how long it was because I wanted to be able to put it right into the chat, but I ended up just saying screw it, and I allowed them to be 3 or 4 minutes. And I just do them as like an unlisted on YouTube, and then I'll put a link in. So that's probably one of the biggest videos that we do is the product haul.
And they watch it.
They watch it. That's also nice on YouTube. You can see how many people clicked through and watched.
Wow. So you call it the product haul? Like, here's our haul?
Yeah, I just say our Herbalife haul. I usually title it like Herbalife haul 5/7/20 or something, like with the date. And then it's cool too because like it shows in there. We've got like every 2 weeks we have like a new product haul. So they kind of like see that.
Powerful.
Which they started to do themselves.
Yeah, they started copying us and doing their own videos.
They'll take a picture of their package and we're like, oh my gosh.
We're like, open it,
confetti,
show us.
We're like, what's in there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Share. Wow. They'll be like, oh my gosh, I have to get that, blah, blah, blah. And then like 5 moms all of a sudden will be like, oh my gosh, I need to get the kids shake booster. And like they'll like start popping in and saying like, oh, I need this. And so they learn from each other and from us what they need to add to their orders.
Wow.
And one of the things with the drinks in the same kind of context is when we're doing our like afternoon combos, it kind of because we do them every day, it's like it becomes like this thing where they just naturally, without even thinking about it, they start replacing the things that they used to be drinking with the drinks that we're making. And so it's not only upping volume, it's upping their consumption. They're feeling better. They're getting better results. They're getting rid of some of the crap they might have been drinking. And it's all like, we never had to say it out loud. They just started doing it. And so that's been super awesome.
Priceless. That's huge.
Okay. So real quick, other things that we do inside of the chat, obviously the drinks, we recognize PMs for qualifying for the Herbalife gift promos. Every time someone hits whether it's like the 150 cut or they do the whole thing for $450 for the month, we do like a little picture with like, he does it with like the cuts like checked off. We just ask them to send us their favorite picture of themselves. That way, when it pops in, they feel good about what they look like. So we recognize them for Herbalife promos. We recognize them for getting to next levels.
How far away?
If they're close to a level, we'll do that too. Post tips and tricks, random stuff that we think of. This is not like rocket science. It's just like if we're doing something and we're like, oh yeah, that makes life easy, we'll just pop it in the chat real quick.
Wash your shaker cup after. Don't leave your shaker cup in your car for 2 days and you find it under your driver's seat and you open all the windows up.
The Herbalife haul videos, we do random giveaways to encourage involvement. So our like goal with those is always to encourage involvement in the chat. Because with involvement in the chat, everything else works better. So we've done where we've dropped two individual liftoffs into an envelope and mailed them to someone for guessing what was in his cup.
We were just on our walk and I just said, and I took a picture of my drink and I said, first one to guess exactly what's in this jar, we'll send you some liftoff. We'll send you 2 liftoffs. And go. And so everybody was like guessing. And the person who actually won hadn't participated in anything.
It was
before
the first time she was in the chat.
And as soon as I posted it, she was the first one and was like guessing. And I was like, nope, dragon. But she ended up winning. And
also she hadn't ordered any products in a year or more.
Yeah.
And after she got her liftoff, she was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how like good this is and the energy and blah, blah, blah. And then she's been ordering liftoff and tea and now Perlessa since then.
Wow. The liftoff got her.
Yes, it got her. So we do the random giveaways. We share afternoon drinks. We promote the challenges that are coming up, of course. We always do welcome messages for new group members and new PMs. We recognize new PMs. And then just in general, the whole thing is, like we said, is about the atmosphere, place where you get everyone together, share recipes, products, goals, and results. When do you post and how often? Do you want to do that? real quick?
Yeah, so I start off, like I said, as soon as I wake up, get my shake in, I'll do the shake selfie or whatever it is, and then I kind of just throw it out there. What shake flavors are you guys doing today? And then everybody starts to post theirs. We're in there, either me or her, we're in there every single day. See.
I would say on average, we do about 3 conversation starters every day. So whether it's the shake is always one, the drink is always one, and then there's usually something else going in there. It could be anything, but usually 3 conversation starters. And if we ever notice that it's getting dull in there, then we hop in and we do something, because our client chat is normally popping all day long. There's normally stuff happening all day long. And so if we notice that there's like a lull for a few hours, if it's like more than like 3 or 4 hours, like half the day, we're like, oh, something's wrong. And so we get in there and we start it back up again.
Nice. Kudos to you. Good job. Okay, awesome. Anything else to share tonight?
I think that's a lot.
It is a lot. No, it's super. I think that this is one of those to go back and review pretty regularly, with lots of tips and ideas in there. So awesome job. Appreciate you guys jumping in here and sharing with everybody. Awesome job on your progress, getting your goals clearly set in your mind. As you approach the goal, increasing it, getting it farther out in front of you to keep stretching you. It's definitely been working. You've been working, and your approach has been working. So awesome job.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks. And yes, Denise, we do.
Say what?
A question.
I'm answering Denise.
Do you,
okay.
do you promote the monthly weight loss challenge in there?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever challenges you have going, you're definitely going to want to promote them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And we talk about it during the month too. So we don't really shy away from saying something. Like, not everybody's in there, but we don't shy away from talking about it in the chat either.
Like with the workout, we were just kind of like, for those of you in the challenge, who's joining the workout, and then they just pop in there, me, I am. So just to kind of, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, awesome job, you guys. Thanks for sharing. Hey, everybody that's on live, appreciate you guys. Everybody that's catching a replay because you didn't even know we were going live, or you're working, or whatever the case may be. Appreciate you as well. Definitely drop some comments with your favorite tips, or maybe the thing that you're going to implement immediately. Definitely some kudos for Stacy and Jesus on sharing everything that they've shared tonight. And then also right here in Smith Team Coaches in Unit 2. Okay, so you just tap on unit there right underneath the cover photo, I believe is where it is, and then go to unit number 2. Unit number 2 is retaining your clients and members. And then one of the videos in there, Sandra did a video called Using Client Chats to Create Epic Results. And she goes through in order, like how to get your chat set up and stuff like that. So if you're new, you haven't done one before, and you just want to write yourself down an outline on how to get going, you can do that. And then you can use all Stacy and Jesus's mega tips to create mega business for yourself. So that's it for tonight, you guys. Good night, everybody. Thanks, Stacy and Jesus.